Congratulations. Thank you. We will do photographs and then it's over to you.
The award says the New York Legal Assistance Group Corporate Leadership Award, presented to Matthew Biben in honor of his dedication to corporate philanthropy and longtime advocacy on behalf of those in need.
Gordon, thank you so very much, and Abby and Israel. So, listen, I know that I stand between you and dessert right now. I'm fully mindful of that since my son has been tugging at me since before the program started. But I do have a couple things to say. First of all, thanks, and in particular, congratulations to Judge Katzman. It is just a terrific honor for me to be associated with you, the terrific work, a distinguished jurist here in the Second Circuit, and really one of the outstanding judges. And for me, being the second most talented lawyer here tonight is a very easy role to play, and again, my hat's off to you. It's an easy role for me to play because of those of you here who know my extraordinary wife, Ellen Biben. You know that each night when I go to sleep, I realize I'm the second most talented lawyer in my own bed. Made worse so when I wake up and some number of our kids are in bed with us, moving me down to 3, 4, possibly number 5 most talented lawyer in the bed as morning comes. But again, congratulations, Judge Katzman, well deserved, and again, a privilege to be here with you. Let me also now thank my family more seriously. I spend a lot of time in work. I have fantastic colleagues who are here tonight. And I know there's a lot of interrupted evenings, a lot of interrupted vacations, distractions on the weekends, and dinner at the Waldorf is certainly not exactly the compensation you deserve for all of that. But I have a fantastic family, and as the Irish blessing goes, when I count my blessings, I count them twice. So my mother, my wife, and my kids are all here, and I thank you for your support. I also want to thank Gordon for the very kind introduction. Gordon is just outstanding, and I'm not just saying that to suck up. I'm not. When I suck up, I go totally overboard. Gordon is outstanding because for those of us who have the privilege of working for Gordon, he's the CEO of a business with over 160,000 employees, 43 billion in revenue, 50, 60 million. It's a huge operation. And to be the kind of leader who is selfless and without ego, it's never about Gordon, is just absolutely a privilege. He takes advice. He is just fantastic. It's, for me, a real privilege to work for someone who I both respect and like, and it's very unusual. And Gordon, thank you so much for your support tonight. I need also now to talk, obviously, about the fantastic array of legal talent that's in this room. When you have the best of the New York bar, you have the best of any bar anywhere. And the amount of talent in this room and legal acumen is really outstanding. But as impressive, I think, is the tradition in New York and the New York bar of personal philanthropy. And to come out on a Tuesday night and raise as much money as we did because of your personal commitment to great causes like NYLAG and the work they do, my hats are off to you. You're fantastic partners, and we're lucky to have you, as my JPMorgan Chase legal team knows, as our backstop and our support. So I thank all of you for your support, even more so because I know life isn't easy for you. We tend to call you at the most inconvenient times with matters in inconvenient places. We ask you to drop any other client because the privilege of working for JPMorgan Chase, we think, is just that. We usually are very aggressive in managing you because we do have a very talented team ourselves. And we then move to a resolution which is generally not fully acceptable, but we get to the place of resolving it, and then we come back in our next breath and start beating up over your bills and ask you why you charged us as much as you did. And so for me, I recognize fully that it's not easy, and then we call and say, by the way, would you mind supporting an outstanding cause and reaching into your checkbooks and helping us, and you do it. So my hats are off to you, and I thank all of our fantastic partners here from the various firms. Thank you. There are many more eloquent people here to talk about NYLAG, and I only want to briefly mention 2 things that I've noted. I've known about NYLAG for some time. I've been involved with other nonprofit organizations that have also done excellent work. But with the leadership of Abby Milstein and with Israel Shulman, you are talking about absolutely world-class talent in driving and growing an organization. I'm fortunate to be associated with this great work, but your leadership really needs to be noted. And I thank you for all you've done to build NYLAG over the last 24 years into one of the premier, in my mind, civil rights legal organizations there is anywhere. So congratulations to you. And to the fantastic staff that you've put together, many of whom are here. Just fantastic work. I'm going to talk just briefly about immigration, the topic for tonight. And as I thought about it, I was reminded of Goldstein. Goldstein's driving back from Boston, and he gets a call from his wife. His wife says, "I'm watching the news, and there's a maniac driving the wrong way on the parkway. Be careful." And he says, "Honey, there's not one, there's like 100 maniacs out here today." Now, I'm reminded of that not only because I thought it was a funny story, but because, truthfully, the immigrant experience in this country has to be bewildering. And if you think about people tearing up roots, leaving behind families and cultures and customs and language and friends and communities, and then coming to a new place, it is a difficult task. My grandmother was a person I've always been incredibly close to, of blessed memory, Augusta, who my son, my firstborn August, was named for. She came over here after her father in the end of the 19th century first came from Russia. Went to Philadelphia, he worked pressing pants, and after 3 years he was able to cobble and scrape enough money together to bring my grandmother and her mother to Philadelphia. They sat, pressed in a boat called the Rotterdam of a long, very unpleasant trip, leaving behind literally everything they knew, language, friends, food, and family, to get to Philadelphia and to start a new life. And that's what they did. And the promise of this country was that if they worked hard, they would be able to build something better for themselves, and they did, and we're the beneficiaries of that in my family today. I think now, 120 years later from when my grandmother came, and life is so different, and in some ways it's not different at all. And the challenges that immigrants today face are absolutely daunting. The complexity of life in this country, the challenges with immigration laws, the challenges with exploitation, it is just staggering to think about. And as I think about immigrants, in particular in this city, there are 3 million immigrants in this city. A third of the city are foreign-born residents, a third. And to me, they are the lifeblood of the city, the energy of the city. They take care of our kids, they drive cabs, they start small businesses, they build them into bigger businesses, and they try to make the best for their families. And while they're doing that, they are vulnerable and at risk, and we've heard about some of that this evening. And that type of risk of exploitation, those vulnerabilities are the type that they need help, and that's where NYLAG comes in. NYLAG is a lifeline, helping them in the whole array of services and legal needs that they have, from asylum to workplace discrimination to access for children, disabilities, you name it. This is an organization that I am proud to be associated with because of the great work that they do on behalf of immigrants. It is profound work that they do, and it is profound work that helps make New York and the city, New York City and this whole country, I think, the greatest country and greatest city in the world. So NYLAG, I thank you for your honor tonight. I thank you for the Corporate Leadership Award. I am sincerely moved by it, but more importantly, I thank you and all of you for the great work you do on behalf of immigrants and people in need, underserved communities who need you every day as much as they can have you. So thank you so very much.